Hi, I'm Michael, the Assistant Chief Executive of Sentosa Development Corporation. I oversee business and digital technology.
So, Michael, could you give us a background of Sentosa Sensoryscape, how the idea came to be, and how it fits into the Sentosa Brani Masterplan?
Sure. Sentosa Sensoryscape is the first and inaugural project of the Sentosa Brani Masterplan, or nowadays we call it the Greater Sentosa Masterplan. It's essentially a ridge to reef landmark which connects the north of Sentosa, in this case, Resort World Singapore, all the way with connectivity down to the south where our famous beaches are. It's about 350 meters long, but it occupies a space of up to 5 football fields. This was conceptualized, or rather announced, in 2019, and work started in 2020. Of course, the conceptualization of this idea started in 2014.
So, on that note, can you delve into some of the innovative aspects of integrating natural and digital elements into Sentosa Sensoryscape, and how were the 5 sensory gardens designed to fit that template?
When this was first conceptualized, it was seen more as a thoroughfare, a connectivity between the north and the south. But true to our nature, we ask ourselves, can it be a lot more than just a pathway or a thoroughfare? And so when we looked at this, we put a challenge to ourselves and say, how can we make this into actually experience that is very pleasant, very exciting for our guests? We look at the design. This is an important part of the whole Sensoryscape. Designed by award-winning architects, it actually uses very interesting diagrid structures. Diagrid means almost like a structure with holes in between it, right? It's really meant to look like Asian basket weaves. A diagrid structure, unlike a full enclosed structure, uses a lot less material, but still ensuring that it has structural rigidity. So that design creates a kind of atmosphere that if you stand within some of the vessels, it actually encompasses you in your almost like your personal space. The second part about it was really how we can then overlay this with a digital layer. And I think the digital technology part in this case is very critical in ensuring that it gives people a different sense. So in terms of using augmented reality, light projection, and also giving us a sense of accentuating the experience at night. And of course, the other part is the ecology part of it, the part where it is inclusive. We adopted universal designs where it allows people free access, even for wheelchair. This is also pet friendly, as long as they are leashed. And what is also interesting about this is that this was designed with clear ideas about how to make sure that this can be enjoyed from the day across to the night. Through a journey through a series of 6 uniquely designed sensory gardens, lookout loop, tactile trellis, scented sphere, symphony streams, palette playground, and a glow garden. These allow our guests, right, to experience their different senses to be activated. And overlaying all of these is the imagination, which we have delivered through an app called Imaginite, essentially allowing our guests to see the augmented reality through that app. So really, Sensoryscape has 2 tiers to it. The upper tier is open to the elements, and that is for the purpose so that at night and the cooler evenings, people can enjoy the full light projections and the light beams and the occasional fireworks that you can see from nearby attractions. Now, for the daytime, we have a lower tier that is actually sheltered from direct sunlight. But we utilize natural ventilation and some of the fans that are strategically placed to still make it a very enjoyable experience walking from the north to the south or from the south to the north without having to utilize air condition or any of these requirements, because we also believe in sustainability.
Could you share more about the lesser known features of the Sensoryscape?
Actually, Sensoryscape was built very much with the topography and the geological layout of the island in mind. There is actually a 10 meters drop from the north to the south, so it creates for quite a pleasant walk for people. In terms of ecology, we have over 200 variants of plants within the 300-meter stretch, of which 100 are essentially of different native and fauna attracting tree and shrub species. So even within such a short distance, we have decided especially to put in as much greenery and different kind of flora and fauna as much as possible. I think one other area to really look at, this is indeed one of the very first in Southeast Asia, large scale, outdoor, augmented reality, light projection kind of a corridor. So we're very proud of it because we turned a typical walkway into actually an experience. So those were the ideas we had in mind for our Sensoryscape. The other aspect is about how we have made sure that it is a good stopover point, for migrating birds that are moving from the north down to Indonesia. And so Sentosa has been proven to be a stopover point for many of these birds as well. And when we built Sensoryscape, we wanted to ensure that we would be able to include nature in it so that it doesn't disrupt any of the migratory paths. And also Sensoryscape, actually with multiple entry points, expands the connectivity for us, not just from the north to the south, but in reality also east-west as well, because it also reaches up to the Imbia lookout area, which is moving towards the western side of the Sensoryscape.
And besides Sentosa Sensoryscape, what are some other activities or attractions that are available in Sentosa that you want to highlight?
Maybe just allow me to rattle off a few of them, right? First of all, I think you would have known recently we have launched new cable cars. They are known as Sky Ops. We really want to welcome people to enjoy a much refreshed and newer experience on our cable cars. So not too long ago, we also had Hyperdrive. Hyperdrive is essentially an indoor go-kart experience with augmented reality and gamified in that sense. Skyline Luge Singapore and Universal Studio Singapore, these are all adrenaline attractions. And that includes Mount Faber as well. Mount Faber at the other end of the mainland has a cable car connection coming over to Sentosa. We're also proud to say that we've also hosted high-profile events on the island, like the New Economy Forum, the Bloomberg New Economy Forum at the Capella in Singapore. And our offerings are designed, to appeal to a wide range of visitors, from families and thrill seekers. So, for example, if you are a returning visitor, you could look at Sensoryscape, which is our new offering. I think we can also see the Raffles Villas that will be launched within this year. And Kidzania as well will be returning to Sentosa.
So last question, and since you mentioned repeat visitors and returning visitors, right? So for returning visitors, how does Sentosa plan to keep the Sensoryscape fresh and unique each time? Because every time people come back, they want to see something new, they want to see something fresh. So what's your approach to that?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Precisely to keep the offerings fresh and make it sustainable in a sense, I think the digital layer is one key aspect. Because we cannot be building new infrastructure in short spans of time over and over again, especially in Sentosa, where we really want to give the experience to the guests that it is still a very a very green area for them to come and enjoy the island. So while the big infrastructures will not refresh themselves frequently, but the digital layer can be done so. So in fact, we have already started work in enhancing our current augmented reality offerings within Sensoryscape. There will be enhanced characters and interactive capability with guests further down the road. And we're also looking at how to even make the experience within the current vessels more engaging with newer augmented reality offerings. So that's how we would refresh Sensoryscape to ensure that even for repeat visitors, they continue to be engaging and a very pleasant experience.